Hi everyone, this is Christine with Black Tea News, and I thought since today is Star Wars Day, I would tell you guys why I do not like Star Wars anymore. I'm totally like off the train. And I was so really into it. Not as into it as like people who are super into it, but I'm a nerd and I do like myself some Star Wars, or I did rather. So before we jump into it, please visit blacktnews.com. You can check out content that I have, check out where I am on other platforms, check out other videos I've done, like things I've talked about Gina Carano, for example, articles I've written about her and the whole debacle with Star Wars. Please check out the store. You can see merchandise that I have there, things that I think you guys will like. And also, if you would like to donate, you can do that through the site, or you can follow one of those links at the bottom. I thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything that you do, and thank you for being part of the conversation. So I'm really going to try hard not to make this an extremely long video. So I liked the original Star Wars for sure, and when Revenge of the Sith came out, I want to say maybe I was in high school-ish. I was still in school, and I was like obsessed with like it. I thought it was great. I really liked it. Like I remember my dad preaching about like compromise. I'm like, yeah, that's what Anakin did. It was so in my mind, and I went to go see it a second time because I just really enjoyed it. But this new stuff is just garbage. Like when Force Awakens came out, I did like it. Obviously, it was just like a revamp of New Hope, which I actually didn't mind. I'm like, it's like the very first one, but the effects are better. I was like, okay. I thought Finn could have been taken to an interesting place. Lo and behold, that did not happen. There was all this excitement about who Rey could possibly be, and I thought they definitely left some hints that she could have some blood of importance, but obviously I thought it was like going to be like a Jedi and like maybe like Obi-Wan connection or actual Skywalker connection. We didn't know, but I thought it was pretty obvious because she was so dang powerful. And even when she did the Jedi mind tricks and stuff, I thought like, okay, maybe she had some training previously and she just forgot it. So I thought they really laid those Easter eggs. So in the next film, The Last Jedi, it was just awful. For reasons I'm sure you've heard before. Luke Skywalker admitting to like wanting to kill his like nephew in his sleep for a hot second after all the work he did in the first trilogy with his father to turn around, overcoming his anger, knowing that he had to come his father changed at the last second, and that, you know, he would not even fight him originally, like when they went to do battle. So it just seemed like really messed up, like to attack someone in their sleep. Like I got my nephew a lightsaber for Christmas, and when I was trying to go to sleep, I made a joke like he didn't attack me, like he knew that was a bad idea, like like just from a perspective of just like honor, like like attacking someone in their sleep. I didn't read the books that took off after Star Wars, but I read about them, and those stories seemed like 100% like they made more sense. I didn't like that Phasma was like a waste. I didn't like that Finn, they seemed like he's this person who's this non-Jedi who's maybe going to take on some of that stuff, and then he just had a waste of a space time. With Rose, I'm sorry, I don't care if you like her because she's Asian. That's not a good enough reason to like a character. Casino Planet stuff was just such a waste of time, a chunk out of the movie. Like I was just angry watching it because I'm just like, this is like, I turned to my sister and said, I've never been so bored in a Star Wars movie before. And there are parts in Star Wars that can be boring, but it was just like such a huge waste of space and time. And they went there on a specific mission. I don't believe I have to go into all the reasons why this movie was dumb. I'm sure you've heard commentary on it, but they left on this side mission to find this person, and they didn't even find the person they wanted to find. They found someone else. And like, oh my gosh, he betrayed us? Yeah. and then they're like, Rey, she's not actually a Skywalker or anyone important. She's just a nobody. They just trade her for parts. And so I was like, well, all the hype and all of the like goodwill I afforded you guys for the first film, you just lit that on fire. So I definitely didn't like that. The thing that a lot of Star Wars people who really into it, that I did see complain about the fight with like Luke at the end, I actually thought that was cool, and smart. So I didn't have an issue with that, but I definitely thought Finn should have just died at that point because I was just ready to see him go. I was annoyed. I was like, they wasted this Negro the whole film, and I'm like, at least he can die and have something impactful. And here comes Rose to just ruin it. Ugh. So then they came out with the Solo movie, which was okay. It was pretty good, but I refused to see it in theaters because I dislike Last Jedi so much. But most of all, I didn't like what the new Star Wars films were doing to Han Solo. Like in Force Awakens, you saw him, he was just, him and Leia had a rift because of, I guess, their son. And he went off back to his old life. So it's just like all this character progress, just like, oh, we're going to scrap it. And so I understand that sometimes people in life, they regress and they disappoint you, but gosh darn it, these people saved the galaxy. You really had to do that? Like, come on. So you made a choice. You made a creative choice, and I don't think it was a good one. So the consequences of your creative choice was, I don't care about seeing how he got his origin when it's just going to take me super back to the beginning. Even after all this story progress, like in the books, I mean, his son was evil, and he was like, well, we got to take care of this, we got to kill him or something. It was like you had that tension. Like that's where he could have come in, like knowing that his son is doing this thing and being the one, like, you know, is there redemption for him, is there not redemption? But they just, and I don't know if some of this was just bad writing on their part or Harrison Ford just not wanting to do a lot, but he just came because they paid him a whole bunch of money. But you could have just paid him more. You could have just paid him more, I guess. But they probably just wrote him a bad script, and I didn't like what they did with his character. They could have had the riff being like how they were going to deal with their son, and that's why he's not with Leia or whatever. But just like going off doing his whole like bounty hunter bachelor thing, like it was gross. I didn't like it. So I did not see The Rise of Skywalker, and I feel like if I do watch it, it'll only be to say that I saw it so I could trash it. So I'm just gonna be one of those people and just talk about it anyway. But when I found out that Palpatine was back and he announced it in like the scrolling intro, I'm like as a writer, like I can't imagine having something so phenomenally important to the plot and explaining it to you as the credits like are rising. That is like absurd. Spoiler alert, she's a Palpatine. So there's all these crazy things that I've heard about the plot and whatever. And I'm not going to talk about it because like I said, I didn't see it. But the crazy thing is that Daisy Ridley had an interview and she explained that they did not know where they were going with her heritage. You went from like, people were suspecting like maybe she's a Skywalker or Kenobi or something like that, because that's what it felt like. That's what, like, some kind of route that you thought they were going. And it's like, no, she's just a nobody. And it's like, okay, that felt random. And then it was like, nope, now you say she's Palpatine. Now this feels really random. And then when it happened in the second film and she was just a nobody, I'm like, so she just feels like a Mary Sue because she just has all these like abilities. Like if there was like some merit to it, like we could understand. And so they turned around and was like, oh, she's a Palpatine. So, but the point is that they didn't have a plan. I'm just like, and it felt that way. And I'm like, how dare these people? They have all this money for this beloved franchise of something they did not build. And they don't even have the take the time and the care to have a plan, like a real solid plan. Like I know you have other directors and writers or whatever working on the film, but this is a franchise. You should have a plan about your main character's birth. So there's a lot of madness and stupidity going on. But like the moment when I was just like, you know what, I'm kind of over this, was when they're in the casino planet and the dude was talking about like, oh, we sell to them, the Empire, we sell to the Resistance, they keep funneling money, it's just a cycle, blah, blah, blah. And so as I'm listening to it, I'm like, they're trolling us right now. They are telling you right now that they're just going to keep making these films. They're not committed to like a story arc or whatever. They're just committed to feeding you the same junk. They're going to repurpose it. And you're going to come in and keep spending cash. You're trapped in our money cycle. And this is a war for your dollars. And we don't care about you. We're just going to do what we can to get you in the seats. And we're just going to keep recycling junk. Like, it just felt like they're pulling like the wool over your eyes. Like, like we're not even going to give you like real kind of new original kind of ideas. We're just going to keep feeding you nonsense. And I was like, I'm done. Yeah, that's why I'm not into like the Star Wars thing anymore. And even though I heard Solo was good, I didn't want to commit to paying them dollars in the movie theater. I just waited till it was on Netflix, and I was like, it was pretty good. But you know what? You did all this stuff, and then the Gina Carano thing happened with Disney lying on her, mischaracterizing her statements so they can have an excuse to get rid of her. When the truth is that she wouldn't bow to their cancel culture woke mob demands about how she should apologize for the beep bop boop comment about standing up to the bullies who want to control what she can have in her profile. And she wouldn't get on a Zoom call to be berated by like 40 different people. And so that at that point in time, they stopped really connecting. But then they found a reason later to get rid of her. There's some things with Disney and they're like, why aren't you watching this? Why aren't you watching this? I'm just like, because they're an evil company and I don't know if I want to make myself. So I'm not going to make the commitment right now that I'm like never going to watch a Marvel movie again. But I got to tell you, that's where my heart is right now. I'm someone who's like thoroughly was invested in all this stuff. So, but that's where I am now. And then there's the woke stuff. But you know, their woke stuff doesn't matter to me as much when it comes to Star Wars as the fact that they're just like bad writing. But that does bother me too. Anyway, what do you guys think? Are you done with Star Wars? Are you done with like Marvel, Lucasfilm, Disney, all that stuff right now? You still like want to give them a chance? Are you like on the fence, or like I want to quit them but I just don't know how because I really liked Winter Soldier or something? Like tell me where you're at with all this. But last Star Wars Day, I was inspired to start writing this book because Yoda was talking about fear and how it's a path to the dark side. So this is my first like nonfiction faith book, and you can go get that on blacktnews.com, or you can go to my website where I have all my books listed, which is Ninja Does Publishing. So check out Slay Your Fear, especially with all the stuff with COVID and the people being hysterical about police shootings, all that other stuff. And I do say hysterical because there's no data to justify your irrational fear of being shot by the police, especially if you're not a criminal resisting arrest. So go to blacktnews.com, check that out. Make sure to check out content that I have, like talking about Star Wars and Gina Carano and Disney and all the other stuff. And make sure that you check out the store and get something for yourself, get something for someone that you love. And if you would like to support, you can do that on the website, or you can do that in one of the links below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.